Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Welcome back to The Bright Side. Once again, we're talking about vitamin E, our protection vitamin. These days, everyone needs protection. We live in a toxic environment. We eat toxic food. We drink toxic water. And anything we could do to protect ourselves from toxicity is going to be in our long-term health interest. And vitamin E is the quintessential protection nutrient. That's its raison d'etre. That's its reason for existence, is to protect the body, specifically to protect the fatty components of the body. This is why you see vitamin E in skincare products. I used to use vitamin E when I wanted to protect the fatty components of my skincare when I was working with oils, and I try to avoid using oils in skincare products, but if I'm formulating for somebody else who isn't trying to avoid oils, I'll use vitamin E to protect the oil component of moisturizing creams, anti-aging creams, and such. Vitamin E does the same thing in the body, particularly in the outside part of cells, the cell membrane. We say all the time on this program, all disease is cell disease. It doesn't matter where your disease is showing up, what part of the body is showing up, unless you're a doctor. If you're a doctor, you're a specialist, or your insurance company, you need to know what tissue or what organ is defective, because you got to bill. You got to bill the patient. So we get identified, or illnesses get identified by the particular organ or the particular structure that's affected. But really, it's not about the organ. It's not about the gallbladder if you have a gallbladder problem. It's not about the liver if you have a liver problem. It's not about the bone if you have a bone problem. It's not about the skin if you have a skin problem. It's about the gallbladder cell. It's about the liver cell. It's about the bone cell. It's about the skin cell. And in this way, all health challenges are generic because they're all about the cell, and it doesn't matter what part of the body is affected, unless, of course, you get paid that way, i.e. you're a specialist. Special diseases are only for specialists. They're not for healing. That's why specialists don't heal anybody. You got to work at the cell level. All disease is cell disease. But now, even more fundamentally, all cell disease is cell membrane disease. It's the membrane that breaks down first. It's the outside coating of a cell. If you want to know what a cell membrane is, think about a hard-boiled egg. An egg is a cell. A chicken egg is a cell. It's an egg cell. We call it an egg, but really it's an egg cell. The membrane of the egg cell is that thin tissue that covers the egg when you hard-boil it. Hard-boil the egg, you got the shell on the outside. An egg cell, a chicken egg cell has a shell on top of it, unlike our cells. But if you get rid of the shell, you'll see a thin membrane on top of your hard-boiled egg. That's the cell membrane. And that thinness of the cell membrane compared to the size of the egg is a good approximation of the relative sizes of our cell membranes and our cells. So the cell membrane is this tiny, thin coating of oil on the surface of a cell. And it is the major determining factor of not just the health of the cell itself, but of the nucleus, of the DNA, of the genetics. The genetics respond to the health of the cell membrane. The cell membrane is also, the outer coating on a cell is also how cells talk to each other, how they communicate to each other. You got 100 trillion cells in your body. We are a country of 100 trillion citizens. Can you imagine this? We got a country in the United States where we have 300 billion citizens, a fraction of 100 trillion, and we can't get along. But somehow the body has figured out how to maintain its structure and organization to such an extent that, for the most part, we live 80 or 90 years with very little problems. Even if we have health issues, for the most part, our cells are operating pretty nicely. Our cells are communicating to each other. They're talking to each other. They're cooperating with each other. We have a country of 100 trillion citizens that are, for the most part, getting along. And when they don't get along, when they don't communicate, when they don't listen to each other, you can rest assured the defect is at the membrane level. Cancer is a cell membrane issue. That's right. Cancer cells don't listen to each other. This is the hallmark sign of cancer cells. They're not talking to each other appropriately. They're not communicating to each other appropriately. And it starts off with defective cell membranes. Otto Warburg talked about this in the 1930s. He talked about the relationship of oxygen to cancer. And the cell membrane is our oxygen magnet. So anything we could do to keep that outside part, that membrane part, that fatty part, healthy and strong in a cell is going to keep our cells healthy, and it's going to reduce the likelihood or eliminate the likelihood of disease, including cancer. And guess what? Vitamin E is the quintessential cell membrane protecting vitamin. Oh, and guess what else? Vitamin E deficiencies are very common. That's because, as we said, vitamin E is not found in a lot of foods. So vitamin E is our protection vitamin. It protects the outside part of a cell. It protects the membrane of a cell, particularly super fatty cells like brain cells, nerve cells. It protects everything. It protects all the cells in the body, but particularly the fatty cells with the brain cells and the nerve cells, also blood cells, red blood cells, which are very dependent on fats in their outer membrane. Defects in the outer membrane of a red blood cell can be involved in blood clotting and circulatory problems, and vitamin E protects the outside part of a red blood cell like it does any other cell. This is why vitamin E is the ideal heart-protecting vitamin. Anybody who's dealing with heart disease, anybody who's dealing with circulatory problems, anybody who's dealing with blood clotting problems needs to understand the importance and the power of this spectacular vitamin that most of us are deficient in. Oh yeah, liver cells. If you're dealing with liver disease, fatty liver disease, NASH, they call it, non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, or NAFLD, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, vitamin E is also protective for the liver. And the more medicine you're using, the more drugs you're taking, prescription drugs or illegal drugs, the more you need vitamin E. If you're a cigarette smoker, the more you need vitamin E. If you have Parkinson's disease or Alzheimer's disease, the more you need the spectacular vitamin. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Did you know that home break-ins increase more than 100% during the holidays? It takes just 10 seconds for an intruder to kick in your door, but police response to a home alarm system is more than 20 minutes, and intruders are in and out of your home in 5 minutes. Thieves know that you're not home and have presents inside just waiting to be taken. And if you are home, how safe will you feel with an intruder lurking inside with your family? That's why police across the country are recommending you use Door Armor. Proven to withstand the force of a battering ram, Door Armor keeps intruders out. It's easy to install and barely visible, and your Door Armor is guaranteed for life. Go to InvasionStopper.com for a very special buy one, get one at half off deal. These savings are for a limited time and only available to GCN listeners. Protect your valuables and loved ones this holiday season. Go to InvasionStopper.com now. That's InvasionStopper.com.
We use mobile devices right against our bodies every day, but growing scientific evidence has emerged showing serious health risks associated with exposure to EMF radiation emitted from these devices. The solution is Defender Shield, the most effective mobile radiation shielding ever developed. Defender Shield blocks virtually 100% of EMF radiation from cell phones, tablets, and laptops, and starts at just $64.99. Buy now at DefenderShield.com. For 10% off, use promo code GCN. DefenderShield.com, the worldwide leader in mobile radiation shielding.
No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MyTV. 1-855-905-MyTV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MyTV. 1-855-905-MyTV.
Hey, Berkey Guy here. Are you still drinking unfiltered tap water? Does your water contain chlorine or fluoride? Will you have drinkable water in an emergency? The Berkey Guy is here to help you remove these and other potential contaminants from your water, thus helping you drink clean, purified water. We offer Berkey water purification systems at the lowest available prices online. Don't go another moment without Berkey system. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands drink clean, purified water. Join them by visiting goberkey.com or call me, the Berkey Guy, at 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653.
We're talking about vitamin E, very important for the heart, for the blood, for all the cells of the body, but really important for the skin. Vitamin E has sun protection properties. Vitamin E protects the fatty component of cells on the surface of the skin, as well as the deeper layers of the skin. Vitamin E is part of the skin. When you use vitamin E topically, the skin knows what to do with it because there's vitamin E in your skin anyway. Vitamin E is part of a natural sun protection complex that lives in the skin, along with vitamin C and something called glutathione, which is your body's primary detoxifier. Between vitamin E, selenium, vitamin C, glutathione, zinc, your skin is packed with sun protection molecules, sun protection substances. This is how nature, this is how the divine force wants us to be protected from the sun, not by slathering on a poison sunscreen. If you're a doctor, if you're a dermatologist, if your skincare professional is recommending that you slather on a sunscreen, find another skincare professional. I'm not saying you don't need sunscreen sometimes. You may need them sometime, but as little as possible, as little as you need. It's much better to reapply a small amount of a toxic sunscreen, and I'm going to always say toxic before I say sunscreen because they are toxic. No matter what you hear. Yes, they're approved by the FDA, but they're still a drug, and they're toxic, and they will cause problems. They're cytotoxic. They kill cells. Try drinking a sunscreen sometime. When I used to get my sunscreens in at the pharmacy, I'd have to order it by the kilo because I was filling prescriptions with my sunscreens. They'd have a skull and crossbones on them. Vitamin E doesn't have a skull and crossbones on it. Vitamin C doesn't. Zinc doesn't, selenium doesn't, and they're in the skin anyway, and this is how nature, the divine force, wants our skin protected, not to mention phytonutrients, not to mention plant nutrients. So vitamin E is a non-toxic, natural sunscreen. You get protective benefits, and by the way, you get those benefits internally as well as externally. So if you supplement with your vitamin E, before you go out in the sun, you're going to find you're burning less. There's also an interesting relationship between vitamin E and what we call the lymphatic system. Now, we'll talk about the lymphatic system a lot on this program, but you don't hear about it a lot on health programs in general, which is unfortunate because lymphatic disease precedes most or a lot of chronic degenerative diseases. The lymphatic system is a series of vessels, tubes, much like your blood system. In fact, it is part of the blood system, technically. The lymph and lymphatic circulation is tied in with the blood and the blood circulation. They're, in essence, one system, even though we talk about them separately. There's a few differences between the lymph and the blood. The lymph doesn't have a pump. The blood has a pump. Oh, yeah, well, the lymph has a little bit of a pump because it's connected, but for the most part, the lymphatic circulation is so far away from the heart that it's not really impacted by the pumping action the way the blood circulation is. So how does the lymph move? It depends on us. It depends on our muscles. The lymph is tied into our muscles. The lymphatic system is tied into our muscle system. So as we move our muscles, whether we're moving our arms, we're moving our legs, even as we're moving our respiratory muscles when we're deep breathing, our lymph moves along with it. The lymphatic circulation depends on body movement for its circulation. And given the sedentary lifestyles of most Americans, poor lymphatic circulation is common. Now, the lymph transports poisons. The lymph transports wastes. And the lymph transports fatty nutrients, both. The fact that the lymph is transporting toxic waste and the lymph is transporting fatty vitamins is important to recognize, because if our lymph is all clogged up from toxicity, fatty vitamins and fatty nutrients aren't going to get delivered to cells. So no matter how much vitamin E or vitamin A or vitamin D or essential fatty acids you're taking, if your lymphatic system is all clogged up from toxins, your cells are still going to be deprived, even if you're supplementing. And I'll tell you, in my experience, most people are going to have an issue, at least after a certain age, at least after the age of 40 or 50, most people are going to have an issue with stagnation of the lymph. If you have heart disease issues, if you have hypertension issues, if you have liver issues, if you have digestive issues, the chances are really good that you're dealing with sluggish lymph. Breast cancer is an epidemic, and guess what? Breast cancer and sluggish lymph and clogged lymph go hand in hand. That alone, if you're a woman, that alone, 1 out of 8 women are going to get breast cancer, diagnosed with breast cancer. That alone is a good reason to make sure you're keeping your lymph clean. Lots of ways to do it. Pretty much everything we talk about on this program involves at least a little, it has a little bit of a lymphatic cleansing factor. Pretty much everything, exercise, breathing, dietary control, keeping your sugar intake down, intermittent fasting, all these are great ways to clean the lymph. A rebounder, hanging upside down on an inversion device, that's another great way to move your lymph, to keep your lymphatic circulation moving. And all of this means that you're going to have more essential fats, more vitamin D and E and A and K delivered to the cells. And you'll have better detoxification as well, because the lymph is also charged with eliminating toxicity. If you have any intestinal issues, the odds are really good that you're going to have a lymphatic issue as well. That's because the lymph opens up into the intestine. There are openings in the intestine that lead right into the lymph. In fact, when we eat a fatty food, the fatty food goes right into the lymph through the intestine. If we eat crappy fatty foods go into the lymph. Right through the intestine. There are these little holes that open up in the intestine right into the lymph. If we have food allergens or food toxins, chances are pretty good those are going to get into the lymph, and likewise, lymphatic stagnation and lymphatic issues can ensue. If you have bile issues, if you had a gallbladder removed, if you have liver disease, if you have metabolic syndrome, the odds are all good that you have some kind of impairment in your lymphatic circulation. And that means fatty vitamin deficiency, at least in effect, and that means fatty or a vitamin E deficiency, at least in effect, at the level of a cell, even if you're supplementing. Now, if you're supplementing with vitamin E, at least you'll be able to, the odds are a little less that you're going to be, a little less likely that you're going to be deficient. It's a little less likely you'll be deficient, but still, depending on how clogged up that lymph is. So here's a good strategy for you. Take your vitamin E and then jump on a rebounder. Take your, after you eat your fatty food, jump on a rebounder. Improve that lymphatic circulation. Improve the body's ability to process those fats. There's a really neat form of vitamin E that we never talk about here. And if you have any kind of lymphatic issue, you might want to know about this. We'll tell you what it is when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. Okay, let's see here. Oh, if you have a lymphatic issue, if you have a gallbladder removed, if you have any reason to suspect fat malabsorption, intestinal problems, etc., you're very likely going to be deficient in fatty vitamins. From the University of Sheffield, large proportion of this is an article that was this is published by BMJ, the British Medical Journal, Open Gastroenterology. Large proportion of IBS, irritable bowel syndrome patients, are vitamin D deficient. Well, yeah, if you have IBS, you're not going to be absorbing your fats. Now, it could also be that vitamin D deficiency causes IBS because of the relationship between vitamin D and the intestine. Nonetheless, the fact remains, if you got an intestinal problem or any problem absorbing or utilizing fats, you're very likely going to be deficient in fatty vitamins, and that includes vitamin E, which is why you want to know about something called vitamin E TPGS. T as in Tom, P as in Paul, G as in girl, S as in Sam. TPGS. Vitamin E TPGS is a specialized form of vitamin E that can be helpful for folks who are dealing with fat malabsorption syndrome. And by the way, cystic fibrosis is another place where you're going to be deficient in fatty vitamins. Cystic fibrosis and fat deficiency go hand in hand. From the Journal of Pediatric Gastroenterology and Nutrition, tissue vitamin E levels are low in patients with cystic fibrosis who do not receive supplements, but can be normalized in most children by supplementing with vitamin E. Cystic fibrosis is a genetic disease where you develop cysts in the pancreas and various secreting parts of the body, the tear ducts and mostly digestion, the lungs, also mostly digestion, but also the lungs, the liver perhaps. The exocrine glands, as they call them, these are secreting glands. When you have cystic fibrosis, you get all clogged up inside, and fat absorption suffers. So supplementing with fatty vitamins and enzymes is important if you have cystic fibrosis, but you don't need cystic fibrosis to be dealing with fat deficiency following malabsorption issues. So if you have any reason to suspect fat malabsorption, not only do you want to supplement with your fatty vitamins, but you may want to consider this vitamin E TPGS, which is a water-soluble form of vitamin E. It's kind of interesting. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number on the bright side. Let's go to John in Michigan, I believe. Is that Michigan, John?
Yes. Happy New Year, Ben.
Happy New Year to you, my friend. What's going on?
I have a friend that had some laser work done on the face to remove layers of skin because of some spots.
Okay.
Does that sound like a good procedure?
It sounds like a pretty dramatic way to remove spots. Now, when you say spots, do you mean spots or do you mean patches?
Well, I think they're white spots, or on the arm too. There was on the arm at one time too.
That's a way plastic surgeons make money, basically. If you have whites, unless you just want to cosmetically get rid of your white spots, and I suppose that's a reason to do it for cosmetic purposes. But the fact remains, they're probably coming back. If you got white spots, you got a biochemical reason for those white spots, and they're not going to disappear just because you burn them off. However, from a cosmetic standpoint, who am I to say? What I can tell you is if you have laser surgery or plastic surgery or even something as mild as a chemical peel, all of which can be helpful for stimulating and for turning on the growth of connective tissue and reducing the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, follow it up immediately with your vitamins. Just like we always say, the best time to take your nutritional supplements is when you come home from the gym because your body is primed to absorb nutrients when it's in a slightly deficient state after a workout. The same thing is true about the skin. After you peel the skin, after you have a chemical peel, even after you use alpha hydroxy acids like glycolic acid on your skin, if you're just using it at home, that's the best time to put your vitamin C on the skin. That's the best time to put your topical nutrients in the skin. The skin will absorb those nutrients the way a dry sponge sucks up water. Likewise, laser surgery, plastic surgery, any surgical procedure. The skin will suck up those nutrients like a dry sponge sucks up water after it's been damaged or traumatized or stimulated in any way. So whether or not it's a good idea to do laser surgery or have the white spots burnt off or dark spots burnt off or peeled off, that's a matter of opinion, and you'll have to make your own judgment on that. I believe in being as gentle on the body as possible, with the exception of quick bursts of exercise, which is what the best way to exercise physically is, and also the best way to exercise the skin is. Quick bursts of alpha hydroxy acids, and then remove them. That's why I like alpha hydroxy acid cleansers, by the way, and toners, rather than alpha hydroxy acid creams. With a cleanser and a toner, a glycolic cleanser, a glycolic toner, you get this on-off kind of action. The alpha hydroxy acid goes on, and then you remove it. You either rinse it off or you remove it off with a cotton ball if you're using a toner. That having been said, once you do it, you want to follow that up with your topical vitamin C, your fat-soluble vitamin C, and whatever fatty nutrients you're going to use. So for your friend, have them get them on the omega-6 healing cream, My Truth omega-6 healing cream, and that will not only speed up the healing, but it will also stimulate collagen production and have anti-wrinkle and anti-aging benefits as well. Matter of fact, if you have your friend send me her address or his address, I'll send him out a sample of my Truth Omega-6 Healing Cream. Make sure you put it on there, John from Michigan.
That would be excellent. And you also have the vitamin A and vitamin C.
Yes, I got 4 products. Retinol, I wouldn't put the retinol on the laser surgery right after laser, but Retinol has got some interesting skin lightening properties too. So for folks who are interested in bleaching the skin, retinol is, in fact, I think retinol is really the way to go for skin lightening because you get all the vitamin effects and you don't have to deal with toxicity. So have your friends send me an email, ben@ksco.com, with their address, and then and make sure they put on there John from Michigan or something.
Ben,
so I know.
and one more thing with the sunscreen. I've heard that keeping a high level of iodine in your system protects you also. Is that something that...
Not so much directly, but iodine is ridiculously important. It's unbelievably important nutrient. So it'll help with everything. It's not going to directly help. Not that I know. I don't know of any direct connection between protection from the sun and iodine. But iodine is just an overall wonderful mineral, essential mineral that's important for growth and important for protecting the body from cancer. Important for the ovaries and the reproductive system in women, the breasts. It's just important. The adrenal glands. It's just vitally, vitally important.
This doctor also said that he has a sunscreen because this person is going down to Mexico.
They're probably going to give him a toxic one. Have them use zinc oxide. Zinc oxide? Zinc oxide. After laser, remember, after laser or after any kind of peel or stimulating the skin, everything is going to get absorbed. Not just vitamin C and vitamin E, not just nutrients, also toxins. So if you put octylmethoxycinnamate, and you could tell it to the doctor, by the way, or have them tell it to the doctor. If you put octylmethoxycinnamate or octocrylene or benzophenone or oxybenzone, these are all toxic sunscreens, on the skin right after laser, guess what? Your skin's going to absorb that toxic stuff just as well, faster, just like it's going to absorb vitamins faster. All right, we got to take a break. Thanks for your call, John. Hope we helped you out. And if you're on hold, hang tight. We'll get to you when we come back. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. Okay, we are back on The Bright Side. Got a letter here from Art, who says, I've been a diabetic for 30 years, taking insulin, and I'm now on simvastatin, which is a statin drug, for 6 years. What happens if I just stop taking the statins and don't tell the doctor? Is it safe to stop? Well, yeah, it's safe to stop. It's not only safe to stop, it's probably a good idea to stop, given all the toxicity associated with statin drugs. And nobody really knows if statin drugs are going to keep you from getting a heart attack, by the way. All the measurements of the effectiveness of these things are based on statistics. Oh, you're 32% less likely, you're 5% more likely, whatever. We're not statistics. Any given person, any individual person is not going to be any less likely to have a heart attack if they take a statin drug. It's only statistics that tell us this. In any case, you don't want to stop taking a drug without telling your doctor. It's not fair. Now, I'm not, if you listen to this program, that I have a problem with the pharmaco-medical model of drugging people to get them better. That doesn't happen, with the exception of antibiotics. Antibiotics, of course, they have their place, and pain pills have their place as well. But as far as taking a drug for lowering your cholesterol to decrease the likelihood of a heart attack, I'm not buying that. However, it's not fair to your doctor to self-medicate or self-non-medicate to get yourself off the drug without letting him know or her know what you're doing. You have to communicate with your physician. It's not right, and it's not fair. And if I'm counseling somebody with nutrition, I don't want somebody coming in and saying, don't take this nutrient or that nutrient. If I'm helping somebody, it's not fair to the helper. Doctors as individuals, they're trying to do a good job. It's not like they're evil people. Whether we agree or not agree, if we're going to participate with the medical model, if we're going to be under the care of a doctor, it's only fair to that doctor to tell him what you're up to in terms of taking or not taking prescription medicine. Okay. 844-236-6010 is our number. Ed in California, welcome to The Bright Side. What's up, buddy?
Hello, Ben. It's very good to speak to you. I've been listening to you for some time.
Oh, good. How's it going, man? How can I help you?
It's going very well. Last March 2015, I first heard Dr. Wallach on Coast to Coast.
That's the first you heard of him?
Yes, and I was so inspired. Guys, I was so inspired that the next day I called and started on the Healthy Body Pack.
How long ago was this? A couple months ago, you said?
No, last March 2015.
Oh, last March. Okay, good. Okay, a year ago almost. What have you noticed? I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you there, Ed. What have you noticed in the last 10 months or so?
Well, I also also want to introduce you to what I've accomplished. I've started a website, even though I had no interest in computers, just to show people what I've accomplished at 80 years old.
Wow.
In 9 months.
What's the website? What's the website?
The website is Superfood Only Diet. Jorgan. My name is Jorgan. Superfood Only Diet. Jorgan. And there's a picture showing what I've accomplished at 80 years old. I've been a health practitioner for many years. I've been on many programs, and I've always believed in using my own body as a laboratory and a way to check out how things work. So I always have to distill it down to eliminating almost everything except just the products that I want to test. So at this time, I am living just on flaxseed, hemp seed, and chia seeds. Those are the only foods I'm eating.
Wow.
Now, I live on all the supplement powders, including the pollen burst powders, and I get extra gluten, glucogel, and selenium, and some of those that I feel like the sweet ease and the digestive enzymes, and so those are the extra things that I take.
Well, how you doing? How's your health? How you feeling? How's your blood pressure? Are you on any medications? Tell us about you.
So many things have happened, like my hair coloring is coming back at 80 years old. I'm starting to get blonde strands in my hair. Wow. Brown spots that were forming on my hands and my face and various places on my body have begun to fade. Some of them just completely gone.
Wow.
Of course, I have no arthritis left at all. I've always done yoga, but I've never been so limber. You'll see in that picture, I'm in full lotus.
Ed, I want you to give me that website one more time. I wasn't quite understanding it. Superfoods.
Superfood Only Diet. Jorgan.
Spell Jordan. Jordan?
Jorgan.
Jorgan. And it's .com?
No, just Superfood Only Diet. Jorgan, and you'll get to the website.
Okay, cool. Superfood Only Diet Jorgan.
I am now a distributor of Youngevity's products. And what the question I want to ask you is, I have tried so many different approaches to improving my health over the years, and one of the things I did was to cut out all animal foods for a while. Now, when I heard Wallach say it was so important to eat eggs, now I eat nothing cooked. In the past, I went to completely raw for 5 years before I even heard Wallach. My question is, I eat my eggs raw in the superfood drinks.
It's awesome. That's the way to do it. As long as it's fresh, as long as the shell... You know, you do run a very, very, very slight risk of salmonella, depending on the freshness of the egg and whether it's cracked and such. But for the most part, you want it raw. That's the best way to do it. Make sure you're doing your B vitamins with it. You can lose some of the Bs with raw eggs, so make sure you're doing your B vitamins. But aside from that, if you have your Bs and the egg is fresh, you definitely want to do it raw. That's the way to go. And eggs, by the way, are an amazing, amazing food. They are a life. They contain... An egg is a cell. You know how you probably heard me say this, Ed, all disease is cell disease, and all health is cell health. Well, when you eat an egg, you're eating a cell and all the nutrients in that cell. So you're eating everything you need to make your cells. I'm sorry, go ahead.
An egg is like a seed.
It's basically a seed. That's basically what it is. A seed is an egg. Egg is kind of a generic word. When we say egg, we mean chicken egg, but egg is a generic word referring to egg cell, which is the seed, basically, of human life, of biological life.
Now, I have many questions, but I'll have to keep calling you at other times to get covered.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to talk to you. You're a smart guy. I like talking to smart people, and you can always send me email, too. An email to ben@ksco.com. Put your phone number on there. But I'd like my listeners to hear your wisdom. It sounds like you've got some stuff to say, and it'd be nice for you to share it with our listeners.
You'll see my phone number on my website. Please call me and leave me a message as to what you think. I think you'll be surprised.
Okay, good. I'm looking forward to it. Superfood only diet, Jorgan. And if I just put that in the search engine, I'll get it, right?
You will.
Okay, good. It's very nice to talk to you, Ed. I'm glad you called. Where in California are you, by the way?
Orange County.
Orange County, California. Well, good. Hopefully you'll come to the Anaheim convention in April, by the way. Youngevity has a convention in Anaheim, I think the third week of April.
Yes.
Okay, hope we'll get to see you there. Thanks for your call, Ed. God bless. Have a beautiful day, man. All right. Okay, so let's see here. Got about a minute to go, 844-236-6010. I want to tell you about a couple of these articles that I pulled up over the weekend. This is from the journal Cancer Research. I thought this was interesting. Sugar in Western diets increases risk for breast cancer, tumors, and metastases. Now, we rip on sugar on this program all the time, and most healthcare professionals will rip on sugar. And it's not so much because we want to be, or I want to be a food Nazi, and I eat sugar, and I'm addicted to sugar like anybody else is, and we're hardwired to go for sugar. But the problem with sugar is, in terms of our health anyway, or one of the problems with sugar is cancer loves sugar. Cancers are sugar feeders. And we've been talking about this for years on this program. Sugar in Western diets increases risk for breast cancer tumors. Well, no kidding. Cancer feeds on sugar. This is the hallmark sign of a cancer cell, is it's utilizing sugar as opposed to utilizing oxygen. It's a much less efficient way for cells to do their business. And that's why cancer cells, or one of the reasons cancer cells don't do their business. I did a very long piece on cancer, by the way, should be posted up at pharmacistben.com or criticalhealthnews.com here in the next couple of days. If anybody ever tells you we don't know what causes cancer, they don't know what they're talking about. Because we do know good and well what the primary cause of cancer is. It involves oxygen and it involves sugar. All right. We've got more to say here about vitamin E and the liver, and vitamin E and the skin, and vitamin E and metabolic syndrome, and vitamin E supplementation. And tomorrow we'll talk about the 8 different types of vitamin E, and why you may not be getting your vitamin E, maximizing your vitamin E benefits with just alpha tocopherol. All right, thanks for listening, friends. Check out my website, brightsideben.com, and if you're interested in purchasing any of our Truth Skin Health products, head over to truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. Have yourselves a spectacular, awesome, wonderful day. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
Chronic inflammation is now known to block your ability to repair and compromises your immune system, making you more vulnerable to all diseases. Since poor diet, injuries, or stress are all contributing factors, many people suffer from inflammation. Your body's number one means of neutralizing inflammation and the pain that it may be causing is glutathione. Glutathione is the body's number one peptide to neutralize free radicals and thus stop inflammation.
Hi, my name is Jason. I'm 44 years old. For 10 years, I had been suffering from chronic pain in my abdomen and groin that radiated down into my feet. After 3 weeks on One World Way, the pain in my feet reduced by 50%, and the overall pain in my body reduced significantly as well. I ran out of One World Way, and the pain returned. I got another container, and again, after 3 weeks, the pain reduced significantly throughout my body. I'd highly recommend One World Way to anyone dealing with chronic pain due to inflammation.
Call 888-988-3325 or visit oneworldway.com. That's oneworld, WHEY.com.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-831-0771 for a free consultation. That's 800-831-0771. Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
My name is Don Wiskin. In 1994, I lost my 62-year-old father to complications of bypass surgery. In 1977, my 44-year-old brother was found dead in his apartment. He suffered a heart attack. In January of 98, my mother had a stroke and passed away in her bed. 21 days later, my 53-year-old brother passed away on his arrival to the hospital. He waited too long. In June that same year, I almost joined them at 42. What did I do? I took a 7-herb formula I now call Extendivite, made from garlic, cayenne, bilberry, ginkgo biloba, hawthorn, milk thistle, and valerian. Based on German studies of natural medicine, Extendivite is designed to clear blocked arteries, clean the toxins from your blood, and improve your immune system. To get your Extendivite, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit our website, heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Be sure to visit GCNlive.com today.
If survivalist housing has been in your plans, get ready. We're bringing our Timberline Range Camps to you February 6th through 14th, the Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Get an up-close look at some of our most popular Timberline models, or visit survivalistcamps.com to pre-order a camp. We'll bring it to the show and save you the cost of shipping. It's the perfect time to get that camp you've wanted. Go to survivalistcamps.com, then plan on joining us at the Great American Outdoor Show in February in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, There's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joel Wallach, the Dead Doctors Don't Lie guy. There's no reason why you shouldn't live to be at least 100 and have a great time getting there. And I'm going to give you a free copy of my lecture that tells you exactly how to do it. In fact, after you've lived a long and healthy life, there should be only 2 documents in your medical chart, a birth certificate and a death certificate. I'm Dr. Wallach with a warning. If you have a 4-inch medical chart, if you take prescription drugs for high cholesterol, high blood pressure, arthritis, joint pains, and other health issues, the medical profession is failing you. They're using you for an ATM machine. My free lecture is going to reveal what pharmaceutical companies don't want you to know. There's been groundbreaking research and discoveries on how to effectively treat or eliminate over 900 different diseases naturally, and it's all in my free lecture called Deadly Recipe. So call toll-free 1-855-79-YOUNG. Again, that's toll-free 1-855-79-YOUNG. 1-855-79-YOUNG.
No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective. We've had an amazing year here at Supernatural Silver. We've truly enjoyed the fantastic response from thousands of people as they've tried our extraordinary product, and we're thrilled at the life-changing results people have. Our company email is continually full of happy, satisfied customers who thank us for the help they've received from Supernatural Silver. This holiday season, as you think of gifts to give your loved ones, consider giving Supernatural Silver, a gift that can help provide good health and wellness, a gift that can change lives and make a real difference. In a world where we are constantly exposed to dangerous health threats, give yourself and your loved ones a fighting chance. Give Supernatural Silver. Go to supernaturalsilver.com and use the promo code HOLIDAY2015 for 20% off. And this holiday season, we wish you and yours the blessings of peace and good health from all of us here at supernaturalsilver.com.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't take on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
Howdy folks, Pharmacist Ben here, nutritional pharmacist and skincare chemist. If you've heard me on my daily health and wellness program, The Bright Side, you know I'm on a mission to spread the good news about the power of nutritional supplementation to correct your healthcare challenges and get you feeling vital and healthy once again. I want you to call 877-279-9422 and check out the powerful, affordable line of nutritional products from Youngevity, the ones I take and the ones I recommend. That's 877-279-9422 or go to www.gcnminerals.com. Why simply mask your symptoms with toxic pharmaceutical drugs when you can address causes with vitamins and minerals? I suggest the Healthy Start Pack. It gives your body the essential 90 nutrients it needs. Most people notice a difference right away. You can sign up to help me spread the good news of health and wellness without drugs and maybe make a little money too. And while you're there, don't forget to check out my important video message. That's gcnminerals.com or call 877-279-9422. And remember, friends, good nutrition is good medicine.